What's up, guys? It's Mega Geek here. I just wanted to showcase the castle that I've built here on Conan Exiles. A lot of the inspiration has come from Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, if you couldn't tell already. I used a lot of black ice reinforcement as well as the frontier design and integrated just a little bit of some other designs as well. So we'll go through. Here's the main gate. You walk through. I wanted to have a grand entrance. The left and right, I kind of put hallways throughout everything, so it's not just buildings and stuff. Hallways kind of give it a nice look. So here's the grand entrance. You come up these stairs on the left and right. These huge buildings that I've created are the armory and workshop. On the left here is the armory, so we'll go in here. Haven't decorated anything in the building yet, so it's kind of bland, but I just wanted to show basically the foundation that I've laid out, and how big the rooms are. I'll probably have a couple more videos just to show how I decorated it, but here we are in the armory, the second floor of the armory. There's 3 floors. Second floor kind of put some thralls in because we needed some protection for any of the purges that happen. So we've been kind of arming them up. Got a lot of these guys from the volcano up north. We're pretty close to it. Let me show you the map just in case. Here's the map, and we are right here, just west of the volcano. So unfortunately we are in the star metal meteor site, so star metal meteors do come in contact with the base every once in a while. Just before I started this video, I actually had to rebuild some of the base. Luckily we are just on the outskirts, so the damage isn't too intense. I had to rebuild some of the arena, which I will get to in a second. So there is a few entrances and exits from the armory and workshop, so I just went down to the first floor, came out the entrance, and now I'm back at the main gate here. And then there's another entrance on the other side to go into the workshop, so I'll just come in through the bottom of the workshop. So the workshop, I did put all the craftsman's tables because I did need to craft materials, obviously, and building structures and stuff like that. So here's the second floor, not decorated, obviously, like I said. And we'll go up to the third floor, and here is all the crafts work tables and stuff separated. I put a bunch of chests because I've learned that it's really nice to keep everything organized so you know where everything is. So I've named most of the chests, put them in the corresponding location so that they're in the right spot. Those 2 chests in the middle were housing a lot of the structures that I needed in excess, so I put those there. So I'll come back out here. Oops, it's kind of difficult to fly around. I wanted to fly so I didn't have to walk up all these things and it would be annoying. So I'll go back through the main entrance again, and show you kind of the right hallway that I worked on. This was the second part that I worked on. So the first part I worked on was the armory and the workshop, because we needed those first, obviously, to defend the place and to craft the materials and structures that I needed. So once I did that, I worked on the right side. So I built a couple of these hallways, and then I started building this right here. The structure that I'm in front of is the dining room, or the place where the feast area. This is actually going to be the kitchen. I'm going to decorate this as if it were a kitchen. This is below the feast area. And if you come up the stairs, I wanted to have like a little grand entrance for the dining room, just in case we have guests, so to speak, right? It's all just kind of decorative. We can't really do any of that in this game, but I just wanted it to look nice. So here is the feast area. I'm going to put a bunch of tables. I have a balcony up there just in case we're going to put like some guards and stuff. Like you've seen, if anyone has watched Game of Thrones, the guards need to be there just in case something happens, betrayals on other factions and stuff like that. So a lot of decorative stuff. It's a lot of space, so I just needed to work with the space and kind of add different things that I needed, just to make it look more like a castle. If I just wanted the necessities, I'd just have an armory and a workshop, and then I'd be good. But I wanted to make it look nice. So just down from the feast area is the bar. I'm gonna have a bar here. I'm gonna have a bar like kind of in the center and have like a bunch of people kind of standing up on this balcony and stuff. I don't know if you guys have played Conan, you know that there's a lot of dancers and stuff. So I'm gonna decorate it with some dancers to make it look like a bar. Here's a little balcony outside of the bar. You can go and drink and possibly yak up anything that you've drinking too much. And then you can come up to the floor here. This is kind of the defensive area. I have a walkway that goes all the way down the sides of the walls. So now I'm like kind of right next to the feast area, which is right there. And then the bar here. I'm in between, but on the floor above on the walkway. So there's trebuchets. Going to put a bunch of archers along the walkway, and then this kind of comes back down. These stairs come back down into the hallway that's in between the bar and the feast area. And then I also wanted to create a map room. It's kind of difficult to create a map room because the map is so big. So this staircase kind of leads up into the map room above. So I'll give you kind of an overview here. This is the map room. I was actually able to cover the map room entirely based on pillar work. So pillars were kind of difficult, so I had to kind of make a very wide array of pillars so that I could completely cover it. Because of the size of the map, you had to make sure that pillars were in the right area so that you could cover it entirely, which is kind of difficult. And if anyone has questions about, how to cover a map entirely, then let me know and I will gladly assist you with that. It's not letting me in between the fence line and the roof, so I'm just going to come through the stairs. And yeah, so here is the map room. Kind of wanted a different little design. I made it like a hut. Initially it was a circle. Didn't really work for me very well because I had to kind of cheat the design system in Conan in order to make it work, but when I reset the server, things started to collapse because it wasn't really working with the system. So if you kind of cheat the system with Conan, if you reset it, the system kind of reboots and starts to realize, oh, these structures don't really make sense, and it starts to collapse it. So the first map room actually fell apart because it was a circle on top of a bunch of square foundations, and so that didn't work. Conan, the game didn't really like that, so it collapsed some stuff. So I had to rebuild it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it a square, kind of up high. I like the open design of map rooms, so I wanted to keep it kind of open. There's no walls, so you have like kind of a lookout. And I always design my map rooms to look to be orientated into the way that the actual map looks, so it's pointed in the direction that it's supposed to be. All right. So we are behind the feast area right now. This is the back of the building. This is the hallway above. So we can come down here. Like I said, there's walls, or there's a walkway all the way down all the walls, so I could have archers and stuff, make it look nice. And there is a door here. This is the back of the feast room here. There's like the walkway that we came up that kind of connects to the walkway over there in the front that we came up. This would be if you just took a left down that hallway, it would bring you up here, and then there's a little balcony to see the feast room. And then we'll go back through this door in the back here. Alright, so we're at the back hallway, and I actually did make a prison because every castle needs a prison. So let me just try and get this elevator to work. And here we go. So we're going to go down into the prison room. I put a bunch of holding cells here, a lot of prison areas. I like the arena look to the way that the prison, I like the gated doors. There's no other design that really has these gated doors to make it look like you can actually see inside where the jail cells are. So it makes it look more like a jail. I have 2 floors to it, identical, and I also added 1 extra room here. One extra room in the back, a bigger room. I'm probably gonna have maybe some frost giants in here to make it look like we're capturing bigger beings, so we need a bigger cell. And then I have a huge cell here that I just wanted 1 cell completely blocked off from everything, and a huge cell right here to just capture maybe an entire faction or some leaders or something. So I'll add some people in there to make it look more real. So just as, like I said, it's just the foundation that I wanted to lay out. So there's the walkway on the edge of the wall, goes all the way around. And then I'll show you this. This is the back gate. Basically, it leads up to the volcano entrance on the western side. And some of the purge does spawn back here, so I wanted to have another walkway so that we could actually get out and fight if we needed to. So I have some defensive areas. There's three floors to this tower that overlooks this gate. So we'll go back through the door, and then this walkway, as you can see, goes all the way to the top, comes around, and then there's two separate staircases in order to get into the different floors of that tower. And then that walkway goes all the way around, and then if you can see right there, we'll just go all the way around. This walkway just completely wraps the entire building. I have a second floor there because there are some of the purge that does spawn on this mountain here, so I wanted to make sure that we captured that. I'm going to put some archers on both of those. Archers back here, and then wrap it all the way around. And then this walkway obviously continues all the way back here, and then wraps around. I have multiple floors in this extra tower that I built here with some trebuchets on the top. The trebuchets, I'm going to have them aim at that door, at that gate, because most of the purge, when we've had them, have actually spawned at the gate. So I'm going to have them aim there so that we can just unload a bunch of trebuchet stones and boulders and stuff right there. I added cauldrons here at the main gate as well, so we can fill those up, and so we'll drop them on any stragglers that try to break through and kill any of the thralls that we have here. I'm not going to have as many thralls that are here now. They're just there in order to protect the base if we do have a purge in the meantime. So mostly right now I'm going to be working on the decorations. So we'll go back through the main hall, or the main gate. And as you can see, there's staircases kind of leading to everything. I'll walk through one of the towers. Both of the towers are pretty identical. So you can basically take this staircase here, and you'll walk through, and you can come to this first floor here. This kind of walkway that overlooks the main gate. And then you can keep going up, and then that will take you to the second floor of the hallway. Okay, and then you can come out, and then you can come up these stairs, and it'll take you basically to the third floor of the wall defensive position. So that wraps all the way around up to the top, and I showed you where the feast area is, and that goes up to the trebuchets. And then you can also take this staircase up to this hallway that I've added. There's basically hallways everywhere. I wanted to make it, so you could access all the rooms from anywhere. Staircases all over the place so that you can go up and down no matter where you are. And yeah, so you can access all of it. I wanted to make it kind of easy for everyone, so you're not stuck in one corner and you have to walk all the way around just to get up and down. So there's a lot of access points so that it's easy for everyone to walk through, just in case there's a purge. So it kind of gets crazy sometimes, so wanted to have access points. So let's go back to the main gate, and then we will go from the main gate and we will make a left now. So I'm at the left path. I did make a little secret exit on the left path right here. Every castle needs a secret exit. So this is a little small door, hidden door over the side of this tower here on the left. So I put that there just in case we need to get around the backside of any purge that happens. So we can have a defensive position. And then that staircase leads up top to where the trebuchets are. So I don't need to, I could just walk you through it just to show you how I designed this staircase. So it does lead you to the walkway that goes over to the left side. And then you can go out that way, or you can keep going up. And then you'll be up at the trebuchets or on this side of the walkway along the wall. All right. So let's go back down. So we're back down here. We made a left, and now we'll go up this staircase here. So up this staircase, you'll come to the back wall here. That's the back entrance or exit. But then you can also come up these stairs here, and you will find our pens and stables. This is kind of our capture and building. So we have the pen and the stables here. And then if you go in this door here, This is kind of our thrall room. So where we capture thrall, we'll be putting him in here, locking him up. I was able to fit 3 in here. I wasn't able to fit any more. It's kind of wonky with how how you have to actually put the wheels down. So I put some torture tables here, obviously more than necessary, some chests. It's more decorative than anything. And then we can go, that door actually leads back to the hallway there. So we can go back down to the 2nd floor of the capture building, and you'll actually see some holding cells. So we have holding cells just for obviously decorative reasons. We don't need to have that, but we put holding cells to make it look like, you know, we're going to actually capture some people, and we don't need to put them on the wheel yet, so we'll put them in these holding cells. Or we do have, I did make an arena, so it's kind of like gives the idea that, okay, we're going to put them in the fighting pen, and we'll put them in these holding cells, and then when we want them to fight, we'll take them out of these prisons basically, and take them up to here. So there is that entrance there, and then there is the entrance all the way at the bottom that comes down here. This one is basically leads back to one of the main hallways. That's the main entrance over there. If you just continued left, you'd basically get into this area. You'd have the prisons. You keep going up, and then you have the wheels. All right. So if you keep going through this door, I wanted to have this building kind of connected to the arena, which I made, and then you go into the arena, and then bam, here is the arena. So I wanted to make it look like the Colosseum. That was a lot of my inspiration with the archways and the centerpiece right here where they would fight, and the pillars kind of give it a little different feel for it. Wanted to have the pillars like, you know, if you're fighting, you just don't want a blank area or blank canvas. So I put the pillars in for a little bit to make it look a little different. So here's the main gate to the arena, as if you were to enter just a watch. Right, this is the side door on the left. So there's that main gate. So we do have an extra door here, and that this door would just basically be to go into the throne room, or if we need people that are coming just to go to the arena. All right, so then they walk up these staircases here, and then boom, they'd be in the arena. Okay. And this arena wraps all the way around. They have a lot of vaulted ceilings and stuff to make it look like it's part of the Colosseum. And then, if you are part of the army or part of our faction or crew or clan or whatever, you basically just take these stairs up. Right here in the back. That'd be the back hallway that's connecting the armory and the workshop. You just come up here, up these stairs, come through here, and then you'd basically be on the watching or the viewing balcony. So you'd come up here and you'd basically just watch the battle that's happening below you. So yeah, right there's the balcony for the kings. So I will show you the throne room right now. So I think that's the last building on the list. All right, so let's say you go for the main gate. Yeah, you don't take the main gate. You're going to the throne room, so you go through the left. We wanted to have a main entrance so that you could just go straight into the throne room. This staircase actually takes you back on top of the wall or defensive tower, so we have some archers there already. All right, so then if you were to come in here, I wanted to make it so it's like kind of a grand entrance to the throne room. So here I'm going to perch up a bunch of basically the royal guard that'll be standing up here kind of watching and viewing anyone that comes in. And if we need to defend or we don't like anyone that obviously comes through, we will have the royal guard kill them. So during the star medal or star meteor that hit, it actually hit right here, so I'm missing a throne. There should be 3 because there's 3 people, a part of this clan that kind of spearhead most of this. So it's me, myself, Bao, and Sergeant, so there should be a 3rd throne here. So the star medal meteor actually hit right below this throne, so I rebuilt most of it. This foundation completely fell apart, so I rebuilt most of it. It looks how it should, except it's missing that throne. Alright, so they come up here, they talk to us, we don't like them, we have the royal guard kill them. So once we're done doing our bidding or whatever decision process, we come back in here and we can go into our rooms. There's actually a door here that connects the Royal Guard defensive position right here that connects that. And there should be a staircase right here. I have that was obviously gone from the meteor, so those staircases are gone. But there should be staircases here that give us the king's viewing point for the battle. So I'm going to put some chairs here and decorate this so that they're basically viewing the main event. Alright, so then we'll go back in. I will add those stairs later on. So we go back in. This staircase, once you leave the throne room, this staircase leads up to the 3 of our rooms. And the war rooms, this is where we're going to discuss our business. I'll put some tables in here and kind of decorate it and make it look like, you know, we're discussing where we're going to go and all that stuff and how we're going to arrange our armies. The first room is going to be Bao's room. So he wanted it to be the frontier style, so kind of similar to all the frontier buildings that I've made throughout the castle, so it doesn't look too different. And I added a balcony that wraps around the building for all 3 of us, so this balcony will take all the way around the building. And then the second floor will be Sergeant's room, so he wanted the Argosian look, so it's a little different. It's a lot more white, gives it that kind of Greek feel. He added a fireplace because he was too cold. And again, there's a balcony in the same spot. The design is completely the same, size is completely the same. Balconies are in the same position except for mine because mine was too high, so it had to be connected to the roof of this castle. So we'll go up into my room. I like the Turanian or the Egyptian style, so mine's a little darker. As you can see, same layout, balcony that wraps around. And then that staircase that you saw that kept going up actually goes onto the roof. So here's the balcony that wraps around the castle. And see how I had to make it connect to the roof because it's too high. So I didn't want to make it go above the roof. So there's that staircase. It leads up to the top. And that basically gives us a lookout of the entire castle, which is what I was going for there. And I don't think I missed anything here. That's pretty much it. There's probably a lot of little nooks and crannies that I added, staircases and stuff, but for the most part, that's the general outlook of the castle. So please, if you have any questions on how to build something like this, let me know, and I will be happy to answer anything. There's a lot of tricks and stuff that I needed to do in order to make a lot of this work. Foundations don't work exactly how you want them to a lot of the time, and I know ceilings are really hard sometimes to make pointed ceilings like this, especially one this large, because you have to make sure the foundations and pillars are in the right spot. So I mean, let me just show you, for example, if you go back into this building, you'll notice that the top of the ceiling actually doesn't go into a point like that. And the reason why is because the game does not allow you to do that. There's a certain distance that you can go with making a ceiling like that. So you have to have these pillars in the center and flatten it out with those ceilings and give it the right foundation in order to complete it. So you'll notice that it's flat right there. So that's the furthest that I can go with the foundations. And then I had to make those ceilings and then keep going with the ceilings. Basically, I think there's 2 or 3 floors basically that I had to do in order to point that out. And with this as well, like I had to put ceilings in there, so that's why if you look in there, it's not completely sloped up, which would be nice. I would love to have it sloped up and make the room look bigger. And same thing for this feast hall. One more thing. Oh yeah, there's on top of the feast hall, there's like an extra little room here that I put. Don't really know what I'm going to do with this yet, but this is like the third floor of the feast hall pretty much. So the hardest thing about that, yeah, was the foundations that I had to do. That was the hardest thing. And then the other hardest thing that I had to do was build this on the side of a slope. So this slope was extremely aggressive. It was not flat by any means. Okay, so like if you noticed in a lot of the buildings, like the reason why there's so many floors and the floors below it are smaller is because there's an enormous slope that I had to battle with. So I had to flatten out the floors in order to make this as big as it is. And that's why the floor, like the first floor doesn't start until it's up here. So it's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 foundations high in order to get just to the first floor, which is pretty extensive. And it's a lot smaller. If you can see, the wall cuts off right there and then it extends here. And then as you get higher, it extends just a little bit further. And that's because I had to cut it down, because this slope here, if you can see, this is just an example how aggressive the slope was. So I didn't even want to build anything here. I might flatten this out and put some decorations here later, but I mean, that's just what I had to battle. It was basically I had to take a foundation that was at the top of the slope and just build it out. And then the one below it, I'd have to build that one out. And that was probably one of the toughest things about this project. Originally, we had our castle right here, about, I don't know, 500 feet south of us. But then that castle was completely decimated by the star metal meteors that hit, to the point where I didn't even want to rebuild it. And that one was built a little bit early into when we were playing Conan, so I didn't have a lot of the tricks with how to build. So the foundations, when it got hit by a star metal meteor, the building just collapsed. A lot of the walls collapsed. So I mean, honestly, like when the star metal meteors hit, it honestly hit right before I started making this video, and so it took me like maybe 10-20 minutes just to rebuild, and it hit the side of this castle, so I had to rebuild the side of this castle. So I did that, and then it actually hit the arena too, so I had to rebuild a little bit of the arena, but it was not nearly as bad as what I had to deal with the other castle, because the other one we just gave up. Like I just said, let's just demolish it and we'll restart. So I moved it pretty much to the edge of where the star metal meteor spawns are, so I'm hoping that it doesn't get any further than where that wall is, because I don't want to wake up one day and sign on and then there's just holes all over, to the point where I don't want to rebuild it. So I'm really hoping that I can at least finish the rest of this project by decorating it, putting the armory all over the castle, and make it just look how I envisioned it. All right, so that's the castle in a nutshell, pretty much. If there's anything that you want to see in particular with the design, I can definitely go over it in more detail. I just wanted to give a little walkthrough. I'm probably going to give a more detailed video when I finish the decorations and finish improving it to the best of my ability. I'll be working on it for a long time. Probably another couple weeks at least, so definitely I'll take any advice that anyone has to offer. If you guys have any tips, you think something should look different, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I definitely like watching other people's videos. I got a lot of inspiration on how to build a lot of these things from other people's videos, just because some of the stuff, it just doesn't work a lot of the time in Conan. So in order to make it work, I had to see what other people have done in order to get around it. So yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like what you see. I definitely look forward to making some more improvements. This won't be the last building that I build. Our first base that we made was in the center of the map, which is right here. Kind of marked it as base. And then The second base is this one. Well, technically third because the second one was destroyed. The third one we're gonna build is gonna be over here in the east, the southeast area, next to that obelisk there. Not gonna really have to worry about any star metal meteors, so we're kind of open to where we're gonna build. But I'm thinking pretty close to here. I want to be relatively close to where all the gold is, and close to where this obelisk is, which is right here. We have a map room already that we placed here. And then the other options over here in the swamp, which I don't really enjoy. It doesn't really look nice. But over here, we're next to Dragon's Eye and stuff, next to the Dirk Hedo. It looks kind of nice. I know there's a lot of ruins there, so, and it's a lot more hilly than up here in the north, which is crazy. It's going to be a harder build, so I think for that one, it's going to be a lot taller than this one is wide. This one's extremely wide, and I did want to make it look similar to, well, not exactly like Helm's Deep, but I wanted to give it that width, basically of Helm's Deep, so it kind of looked like when you came up on it, you're just like, oh shit, that's a huge ass castle. So that's what I have. Thanks for watching the showcase. I appreciate it.